The aroma of bread filled the town, but her secret ingredient was love. In the small, cobblestone village of Oakhaven, everyone knew the scent that wafted from the Rolling Pin Bakery before sunrise. It was a mix of warm yeast, sweet cinnamon, and something else. Something magical. That magic was Clara, the baker's daughter. Her father, Thomas, was a master baker, his hands calloused from decades of kneading dough. He taught Clara everything he knew about flour, water, and heat, but Clara added her own touch. When she baked, she didn't just follow a recipe. She poured her heart into the dough. If a neighbor was feeling down, she'd bake them a loaf infused with cheerful thoughts. If a young couple was celebrating an anniversary, she'd craft a pastry filled with wishes of lasting happiness. People didn't just come for the bread. They came for the feeling it gave them. Take a yet. Clara's comfort. The town thrived on it, but as Clara grew, a restlessness began to stir within her. She loved Oakhaven, loved the bakery, but she dreamt of the world beyond the rolling hills. She'd read books about bustling cities with bakeries on every corner, each with its own unique style and flavor. Could her simple, love-infused bread compete out there? Was there more to baking than just making people feel good? One day, a notice was pinned to the town's message board. The annual Capital City Baking Exposition was looking for new talent. It was the biggest baking competition in the kingdom, a chance to be recognized by the royal court itself. Thomas saw the longing in Clara's eyes. He was afraid to lose her, but he knew a spirit like hers couldn't be contained. "Go," he said, his voice thick with emotion. "Show them what a baker from Oakhaven can do." Clara was terrified and thrilled. She packed her bags, her father's favorite rolling pin, and a small sack of their special milled flour. Her journey to the capital was an eye-opener. The city was a whirlwind of noise, sights, and smells. The bakeries were grand, with towering cakes and exotic pastries she'd only ever dreamed of. She saw bakers using strange techniques and ingredients she couldn't even name. Her confidence began to crumble like a day-old scone. The other contestants were intimidating. There was Antoine, a famous Parisian pâtissier, known for his delicate, architectural creations. There was Ingrid, a stoic woman from the northern mountains whose sourdough was said to be legendary. They spoke of hydration levels, autolyzing, and complex fermentation schedules. Clara just knew how to add love. She felt small, like a simple country girl who was out of her depth. The first round of the competition was to bake a classic baguette. Antoine's was technically perfect, with a flawless crust and an airy crumb. Ingrid's was rustic and deeply flavorful. Clara, flustered by the pressure, fell back on what she knew. She closed her eyes, thought of her father's steady hands, and needed to do with all the warmth and hope she could muster. She thought of the villagers in Oakhaven, of the smiles her bread brought to their faces. When the judges tasted her baguette, they were puzzled. It wasn't as technically pristine as Antoine's, nor as robust as Ingrid's. But as one of the judges, a stern-faced woman named Lady Eleanor, took a bite, her expression softened. A small, almost imperceptible smile touched her lips. "There is warmth in this bread," she said, looking at Clara with newfound curiosity. "It tastes like home." Clara just barely scraped through to the next round. The second challenge was to create a signature pastry. Antoine unveiled a magnificent swan made of spun sugar and shoes pastry. Ingrid presented a dense, spiced honey cake from her homeland. Panic set in. Clara had no grand design, no exotic recipe. She felt lost. She wanted to quit, to run back to the safety of Oakhaven. That ebonine feeling defeated, she sat in her small rented room and pulled out a worn letter from her father. "My dearest Clara," it read, "don't try to be like them. Be you. Your baking isn't about impressing people. It's about connecting with them. That is your gift. The secret ingredient isn't just love. It's your love. And that is something no one else has." His words were like a beacon in the dark. She knew what she had to do. She wouldn't try to create something flashy or complicated. She would make what she made best. For the final round, Clara decided to bake her Simple Heart's Delight buns. They were small, cinnamon-dusted rolls. Nothing fancy. But as she prepared them, she didn't focus on the judges or the prize. She thought of a young boy in her village who had lost his puppy, and how one of these buns had made him smile through his tears. She thought of the elderly couple who shared one every morning, their hands touching over the warm pastry. She poured every story, every memory, every bit of Okavon's spirit into that dough when she presented them. The other contestants almost scoffed at their simplicity, but as the judges took their first bite, a hush fell over the great hall. Lady Eleanor closed her eyes, and a single tear traced a path down her cheek. "I haven't tasted anything like this since I was a child," she whispered. "My grandmother, she used to make rolls just like this. It doesn't just taste good, it makes you feel." Clara didn't win the grand prize. Antoine's technical skill was undeniable, but she was awarded a special prize, created just for her, the Royal Commendation for Baking with Heart. More importantly, she won the respect of the judges and the other bakers, who now understood that the greatest techniques in the world were no match for genuine emotion. Clara returned to Oakhaven not with a grand trophy, but with something far more valuable. Selfish, she had seen the big, wide world, and she had learned that her simple gift was unique and powerful. She realized she didn't need to be in a big city to make a big impact. The aroma of bread continued to fill the town of Oakhaven, but now it was richer. It was scented with warm yeast, sweet cinnamon, and the quiet confidence of a baker who knew her secret ingredient wasn't just love, but a love that was strong enough to share with the entire world, one heartfelt loaf at a time. The rolling pin became more than a bakery. It became a destination. People traveled from all over, not just for the best bread in the kingdom, but for a taste of Clara's comfort. And Clara, the baker's daughter, had finally found her place, right where she'd started, with her heart full and her hands dusted with flour. Thanks for watching our story. If you enjoyed it, please give us a like and subscribe for more dailies that warm the heart. See you next time.